He was never the strongest, the fastest, or the loudest. He blended into the back rows of every room, in school, in sports, in life. People called him quiet. They didn't mean it as an insult, but they didn't mean it as praise either. What they didn't notice was simple. He paid attention. He noticed the things others chose to ignore. That winter evening, the park was empty. The kind of cold that made every sound sharper, every breath visible. He was passing the frozen lake when he heard it. Not a scream, not a cry for help, just a short, broken gasp. A sound easy to overlook. A sound two people before him had overlooked. But he stopped. Near the cracked ice, thin fingers clawed at the surface, desperate to hold on. The rest of the body was already in the water, fighting to stay above a surface that wanted to swallow her whole. He didn't yell for help. He didn't reach for his phone. He dropped his gloves, pressed himself flat onto the ice, and crawled forward, feeling the cold rise through his clothes like a warning. The ice cracked under his weight, each movement a reminder that he had no margin for error. But he kept moving. When his hand caught her wrist, the ice beneath him shattered. The world became freezing water and blind instinct. He didn't remember breaking the surface, didn't remember pushing her upward, didn't remember how many times his body sank again. He only remembered the burn of the cold, the scrape of ice on his shoulders, and the fight, not dramatic, not heroic, just stubborn, human effort. He woke up in a hospital room, warm, too warm. The girl stood beside his bed, shaken but alive. In her hands was a drawing, two figures on the ice, one reaching for the other. The local paper called him a hero. Neighbors shook his hand. Teachers who once called him average used his story as an example. But he never wore that word, hero. He always said the same thing. He didn't do something extraordinary. He simply did what a person does when they finally decide to stop walking past what matters.